Hi, hello, welcome to Meki Teki with Santosh. I would like to thank my mentor, Professor Surendran from Government College of Technology, and I would like to dedicate this video to my family, friends, subscribers, and my followers, and Almighty, my God, Lord Shiva. Today, topic is bearings. Generally, bearings are it is an anti-frictional element. It is used for supporting. It is used for supporting and making a contact with a non-rolling and rolling element generally. It is a wear resisting element. It is like one type of a lubricant between two moving parts, we can say. Here in the bearings, it is all the bearings are comes under some is comes under higher pair and some is comes under lower pair. Okay, first we are going to see rolling contact bearings. It is also called as anti-frictional bearings. The point of contact between the journal and the bearing element is either point contact or line contact. The point contact are in ball bearings and line contact are in roller bearings. So these bearings are comes under higher pair. Next, the bearing consists of number of hardened balls between two hardened races. Mostly, the bearing material, if it is a ball bearing, the balls are made up of high chromium steel. If it is for a low load condition, it may be the material may be a phosphorus bonds or gunmetal like that. Here, in the roller bearing, inner rays are fitted on the shaft and the outer rays are tightened to fit on the bearing hub. Between the inner and outer rollers, inner and outer races, the balls or rollers are there. It is acting as an anti-frictional element between the inner and outer races. The balls are fitted at a distance from one another in the brace gauge. Gauge is an element which is used for ensuring the space between two rollers or two balls. It will give a definite space, how much space between the balls should be there. It will give. Next, ball bearings, the friction is very low. That is why it is called as an anti-friction bearing. Okay, the type of bearings, roller bearing, it is a ball bearing, cylindrical bearing, and taper roller bearing. Ball bearings are good in radial load condition. The another types of bearings are sliding contact bearing. In the sliding contact bearing, we have two different things. One is hydrostatic bearing, another one is hydrodynamic bearings. First, we would like to discuss about hydrostatic bearing. It is an external pressure bearing, thick film bearing. Here, hydrostatic lubrication system, we need a thick film of lubrication. If bearing contact number becomes low, that is bearing contact number, it is depends on the viscosity and speed and pressure. If the bearing contact number is low, that means Z is the viscosity here. Viscosity becomes low, speed becomes low, pressure becomes more. Bearing pressure becomes more, power power need to rotate becomes more, length is reducing, diameter is reducing. So this is the characteristics of the hydrostatic bearing. Here P is the power, L is the length, and D is the diameter. The next one is a hydrodynamic bearing. Hydrodynamic bearings are self-lubricating, self-acting bearings. Zero film thickness are there, or we can say it as a minimum film thickness is there. Here the characteristics of the BCN is increasing, the viscosity will get increasing, speed will get more, bearing pressure will get reduced, power will get reduced, length, sorry, life is more. Here L is the life, okay, life is more and diameter is more. Next, an important relationship which is load life relation, okay, load life relation. For the bearings, this relation is very important thing. It will give a definite relation between the load and life. Here we come in to know that life is inversely proportional to p power n. Here n is different for different kinds of bearings. More important, we have to discuss about ball bearing as well as roller bearing. If it in the case of a ball bearing, n is equal to 3. If it is a roller bearing, n is equal to 10 by 3. That is called 3.33. Therefore, load life relation becomes L p power n is equal to 3. If we take it as a ball bearing for the load life relationship, L p cube is equal to constant. C means constant, L means life, P means a load, and C is the constant. Therefore, if it is a roller bearing, L p power 3.33 is equal to constant. For an example, you may get a question like this: if my load is increased by 2 times, how much the life becomes? You can say the life becomes 8 times reduced. If the load becomes 2 times increasing, the life become 8 times reducing. If the load becomes 3 times increasing, the life becomes 27 times decreasing in the case of ball bearings. Next is an important concept, bearing characteristic number. As I said earlier, BCN is equal to Zn by P. The load life relation as well as bearing characteristic number is very much important for designing a bearing for any kind of bearing you shake. Here Z is the absolute viscosity, N is the speed, P is the bearing pressure. Here the bearing pressure P is equal to load by area, W by A, and we can say it as area is equal to, in case of bearing, area is equal to L into D. L is the length and D is the diameter. Here with the help of L and D we have a different kinds of bearings. If the L by D ratio is equal to 1, we can say it as a square bearing. When L by D ratio is greater than 1, we can say it as a rectangular bearing. L by D ratio is less than 2, there is a metal to metal contact. If it is more than 2, there is no contact. If the L by D ratio is more than 4, it is a needle roller bearing. And self-lubricating bearings are called as sintered bearings. When the self-lubrication bearings are manufactured by means of powder metallurgy, therefore it is called as a sintered bearings. Next, a very important formula for designing a hydrodynamic bearing, that is called Sommerfeld number. Sommerfeld number Sn is equal to Zn by P, open the bracket, D by C the whole square. D is the diameter and C is the clearance or oil film thickness. Okay, next is a very important classification of bearings according to direction of forces. Radial bearings, the forces are perpendicular to the shaft axis. Thrust bearings are the radial bearings are perpendicular to the shaft axis. Thrust bearings are parallel to the shaft axis or along with the axis of the shaft. According to the type of friction, sliding contact is there, rolling contact is there. First, we have to discuss about sliding contact. Sliding contact is a bush bearing or plain bearing or journal sleeve bearings like that. The material generally used is white metal or bronze. Rolling contact bearings are generally an anti-friction bearing. It offers low friction. Rolling contact bearings offers low friction. Sliding friction is replaced by rolling friction. That is very, very important. The application is in the gearboxes, small size motors, machine tool applications, automobile axles, and etc. Here, the rolling contact bearing, the friction is between 0.03 to 0.05. That is the rolling contact bearing friction. And the next is the type of rolling contact bearing. The rolling contact bearing, for starting condition at a moderate speed, the frictional losses in the rolling contact bearing are lower than that of equivalent to hydrodynamic journal bearings. The different types of rolling contact bearings are below, which is deep groove ball bearing. The characteristics of deep groove ball bearing is the application wherever the radial load and axial direction, the deep groove ball bearings can be used. In this, the radius of the ball is slightly less than the radius of curvature of the groove in the race, and less noise, less temperature, less frictional loss, and maximum permissible load at high speeds are possible in the deep groove ball bearing. Next one is a cylindrical roller bearing. It is good for heavy radial load applications. Next, self-aligning bearings. Self-aligning bearings are spherical bearings. The mostly it is used in agri machineries, railway axle boxes are used. The note, we have to note the key point in the self-aligning bearing. In the self-aligning bearings are used to compensate misalignments and take care of both radial and axial load. This is an important point in the self-aligning bearings. Next one is a angular contact bearing. Angular contact bearing. It can take both axial as well as the radial loads, and the load carrying capacity is more than deep groove ball bearing. Therefore, angular contact bearing is better than deep groove ball bearing at high load and high speed applications. Next one is a taper roller bearing. It is a very accurate bearing. Taper roller bearings are very accurate than other bearings. It is heavy. It is going to take heavy radial as well as thrust loads. Pure rolling action between the conical surfaces, and this is used in cars, trucks, differential and propeller shaft, rail load axle boxes, and a large size bearing in rolling mills. They can use a taper roller bearing. Next is a thrust ball bearing. It will carry thrust in only one direction. It is used in gearboxes. Okay, it cannot take radial load, it can take axial thrust. More balls are used, so high thrust load carrying capacity. If our gearbox are used helical gears, helical gears generally produces the thrust load, axial thrust load. Here, the thrust ball bearings can be used in helical gearboxes. Therefore, it will take the high axial thrust loads. Ball and inner and outer races are made up of high carbon chromium steel, and rollers are case hardened. Here, all the bearing rolling elements are case hardened. Case hardening is one type of a surface treatment. So, in order to make harden the balls, we can use. Next is the according to static load carrying capacity. It is defined as the load acting along the bearing when shaft is stationary. Next, according to the dynamic load carrying capacity, defined as the radial load in the radial bearing, thrust load in the thrust bearing, or axial load. It can carry it can be carried for minimum life of 10 power 6 revolution, that is 1 million revolution. Next, an important factor, designation of ball bearing. The designation of ball bearing, it is designated by means of four characteristics P, Q, R, S. Say, so P is the type of bearing, Q indicates the service conditions, and R and S indicates the shaft diameter. Here, different types of series are there. Q term indicates different types of series. One is the extra light capacity, two is the light capacity, three is the medium capacity, four is the heavy capacity, and zero indicates extra very light capacity. Okay, for your understanding, for your better understanding, I will like to give an example. If the ball bearing are designated as a 0305, okay, 0 is the bearing capacity, bearing type. We can say if it is a ball bearing, they given as a B instead of 0, B, B305. The 3 indicates the medium series. The 3 indicates medium series. 0.5 indicates the shaft diameter, that is 0.5 into 5. We cannot take the 5 as a diameter, so all the bearings commonly multiplied by 5. Therefore 0.5 into 5, that is equal to 25 millimeter of diameter of the shaft. For the 25 millimeter diameter shaft, we can use uh, these kind of bearings. Okay, next is a bearing modulus. Bearing modulus is defined as bearing characteristic number divided by 2, or bearing characteristic number we can say 3 into bearing modulus. For your understanding, if we have a bearing modulus as a 1628, therefore the bearing characteristic number becomes 3 into 1628, that is 4884. Okay, so next is a needle bearing. Needle bearings, generally it is L by D ratio is more than 4. It is also called as a quill bearings. It has a cylindrical rollers having a very small diameter and a relatively very large length. This can be used with or without races. So needle bearing, you have to know that needle bearings can be used with or without races. Okay, there is no need of inner and outer races. That is our understanding. So next one is the used in oscillatory motion, piston pin bearings, rocker arms and universal joints. So you may get a question like this: what kind of bearings are used for an oscillating mechanism? You can directly choose needle bearings as an option. Next, it is also take light radial load with space limitations. Next, we are going to discuss about bearing effects, bearing factors. Okay, for life factors, bearing life factors. First one is a scoring. Scoring means breakdown of a lubricating film or lubricant film due to excessive pressure or insufficient lubrication at high speed. Next one is a pitting. Pitting, because of scoring, pitting occurs. Because of the scoring, pitting occurs. Pitting means the removal of metal particles from the raceway. It is a kind of a failure. Exactly. The pitting is a kind of a failure because it removes the metal particle from the raceway. Next, embodiability. Em- Embodiability is the ability to accommodate small particle of dust and grits, etc. Next is the failure of bearing. Failure of bearing is the abrasive wear. Dust, it is due to dust or rust or spatters. Next is a corrosive wear. Corrosive wear is due to water or a moisture or a corrosive element in the lubricant. Next, pitting wear. We have already discussed removal of the material due to lack of hardness. We need a uniform hardness between all the races. Next is a scoring wear. Scoring wear is the excessive surface pressure and a high surface speed, inadequate supply of lubricant results in the breakdown of the lubricant film. It is also called as stick up phenomena, stick slip phenomena. Next is a very important thing, sliding contact bearings. Sliding contact bearings, surface contact come into picture, therefore sliding contact bearings are lower pair. As I said earlier, we have a both higher and lower pair of bearings where the anti-frictional bearings are higher pairs whereas the sliding bearings are in the lower pairs. The advantage is very simple in design. It is a good shock loading capacity. It is suitable for medium and high speed operation. The classification based on type of load carried. One is a radial bearing, axial thrust bearing, radial thrust bearings. Based on the type of lubricant, lubrication used, thick film lubrication, thin film lubrication, boundary lubrication, or we can say it as a zero lubrication. Thick film lubrication. The surfaces are separated by thick film of lubricant and there is no metal to metal contact. The film thickness is about 8 to 20 micrometer. The coefficient of friction between the lubricant is 0.0022 to 0.010. Therefore, in the thick film lubrication, it will produce minimum wear. Hydrodynamic lubrications are done by converging and diverging portion between the shaft and bearings. So it is a hydrodynamic bearing lubrication is a thick film lubrication we can say. Thin film lubrication is otherwise called as a mist film lubrication. Surfaces are separated by the thin film of lubricant. Metal to metal contact does not exist at some part. Intermittent contact is there. Again, the coefficient of friction is 0.004 to zero point 0.1. So, mild surface wear are there. Next one is the boundary lubrication. There is a surface to surface contact. Continuously and extensively surface to surface contact. The coefficient of friction is 0.05 to zero point 0.2. And based on the lubricating mechanism, we can say the classification. One is a hydrodynamic, that is more starting friction, hydrostatic, less starting friction. Elasto hydrodynamic, that is rolling contact bearings. Oil film thickness is very small. Gears are rolling contact bearings on cams where it will used. Next is a boundary lubrication. Next is a solid film lubrication. In the solid film lubrication, the high temperature applications we can use graphite, molybdenum are used as a solid film. Since it is a graphite and molybdenum is a materials, it can be having a lubricating property. It is also called as a solid lubricant. The application is hard drawing applications, mills and etc. Next is a journal bearing. Journal bearing we divided into two types. One is a half journal bearing, another one is a full journal bearing. The half journal bearing, the angle of contact is 120 degree. In the full journal bearing, the angle of contact is 360 degree. In full journal bearing, if L by D ratio reduces, the oil film temperature is also reduces. This is an important phenomenon. Next, in the design of bearings, the heat generated in the bearing is a very important phenomena. It is generally the heat generated is never discussed in anything for your idea. The heat generated Qg is equal to mu into W into V. Here mu is the coefficient of friction, W is the load carried by the bearing, V is the rubbing velocity. And heat dissipated by the bearing Qd is equal to C into A into Tb minus Ta. Here C is the heat dissipation coefficient and A is the projected area, Tb is the temperature of the bearing surface, Ta is the surrounding temperature. The value of C is depends on what kind of bearing it is. If it is a ventilated bearing, the heat dissipation coefficient C becomes around 490 to 1400 watt per meter square per degree Celsius. If it is an unventilated bearing, it is from 140 to 420 watt per meter square per degree Celsius. Here we have a small note. We have to discuss a small thing. Spherical bearings to compensate angular misalignment and self-alignment. Spherical bearings are self-aligned bearings. Ball bearings will good in radial load. Roller bearings heavy radial load with impact. Needle bearings will take light radial with a space limitation. Taper roller bearing heavy radial and axial or thrust load conditions. Teflon bearings no lubrication is needed. Starting friction is low in hydrostatic lubrication. More starting friction in hydrodynamic lubrication. Surface contact is continuous in boundary lubrication. Zero lubrication is metal to metal contact and no lubrication is there. Partial lubrication is metal to metal contact is in a partial condition. That is all. I hope that you have all enjoyed the complete content in bearing. You will get a good clarity in the bearing. I would like to suggest just to share this video to your friends and friends to get more subscribers. If the subscribers are increased, if the viewers are increased, I will get self motivated and I will give more video on the technical content. If you have any doubt, please let me know in the comment box. We will discuss later with the video. Thank you.